Would you like to be fit, strong, positive, happy? Would you like to achieve inner peace? Well, it's really damn hard for a lot of people. You may be looking at yourself thinking, damn, I don't look like this. And that'd be weird if you did. You shouldn't be watching this video. You might be watching it because you are trying to figure out, dude, how do I change my life? How do I take control of my health? How do I feel better? How do I look better? Don't worry, because I work and live tirelessly to figure this out. Ever since I was 13, I'm 27 now, and in this photo, ever since I was 13, I've been working out and trying to figure out how do I eat to get better workouts and to look better and to feel better. What I have down here on these pages is basically all of the best methods that you could possibly do this. I'm going to cover the most important things that relate to you getting in better shape. That's going to be how you eat, how you train, and then most importantly, how you set goals and track your progress so that you can actually achieve this. By the end of this video, you should figure out and be confident in knowing what you need to do to achieve fat loss like this permanently, muscle development like this permanently, and knowing for certain how you did it and how you achieved it. I have a couple of planners for you. I have a list of the most important things that you'll need to do and that you'll want to track and keep at the forefront of your program. But most importantly, I'm hoping that you get a lot of education out of this. This wasn't really taught in school. And the people in charge of the government who are showing us how to eat have it so ass backwards. And I can't believe this is what they choose to show us, to eat healthy. This is my plate by our government. I believe this is relating to either Health and Human Services, or actually it's the USDA. It's USDA. And it's just total garbage. And I've been reluctant to post things kind of trashing our government and our food system. It's kind of obvious that it's ass backwards and not really optimal or optimized is the buzzword now. It's not really meant to get us healthier. But this is. You might hear some cursing. You might hear some uncomfortable truths. But nonetheless, they will be truths, and they will be spun in a way that is emotional so that you can change. Without that, it's really difficult to. So you're probably fat. You probably have no idea what to eat. Does this sound familiar? I don't know what to eat. I don't know how to eat. I don't know what foods are good for me and what foods are bad for me. Look at you. It's like watching a squirrel that doesn't know how to feed itself. It's a little silly, right? Like we're the only animal, albeit allegedly the most intelligent animal, and we're like, I'm getting fatter. I don't know what to eat to not get fat. That it's not a super intelligent life form, but yet we are. So what I'm hoping this will do will simplify it. I need to start with just saying three things. Number one is we need to set goals, and we need to be clear on what they are and what progress tracking looks like. What the goals are that we should be achieving is reducing body fat and building muscle. And we should be getting in better shape, right? Better cardiovascular endurance. The way you achieve that is through eating whole foods, lifting weights, and having a good routine around all of these things. I'm going to show you how to do that and what I have found to work well for myself and my clients that I work with. Checking your body fat and setting your goals. This is a really simple piece that almost everybody avoids, just like a broke person doesn't like checking their bank account. If you're fat, you don't want to look at the facts, so I understand, but you should. What's the first thing? What's the first thing you should do if you want to improve it? Look at the facts. Look at where you're at. Look at where you stand. And if you're a chick, this is especially difficult. For a guy, it's also difficult because it's pretty emotional. It's kind of an emotional subject to see how fat you are. But the good news is you are not fat. You just are right now, but you aren't fat. Fat has you. You get me? So with tracking your body fat percentage, what you can do is, for instance, Tucker was probably 19% body fat, 20% body fat as a male. This is him at probably about 12, 13% body fat. He dropped 7% body fat. Kelly, I actually have her stats. Her stats were insane. This is her down 45 pounds of excess weight. Kayla, down 15 pounds of excess weight. So when you're losing body fat, you want to be able to track your body fat reduction. The way that you track your body fat reduction is you get a body fat test scan. You can get a body fat test scan, or you can take progress photos of yourself like these people did, like I do myself, and like how I advise all my clients. Take photos of yourself, front facing, side facing, and back facing. And then what you should do is you should locate yourself on a body fat scale or a chart. Now, you can get some of these at home, but what you really want to do is just look at where you stand on this chart. So, see how it says like over fat, and then you should different percentages and you get leaner and leaner. This is like 50%, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10. Same thing for men. This is 40% fat, 30% fat, 20% fat, 16, 13, 11, etc. And you get lower and lower in fat. The way that you test that, get the body fat test done, watch your body fat decrease, especially as your muscle mass increases. This is one of the simplest things that you can do just to make sure that what you're doing is right. Because if you're eating right and you're training right, the way that you set goals and the way that you track your progress will be a breeze. So get your body fat tested monthly and take front, side, and back photos at least every week and compare them every month. This is a really simple thing that you can do on your own to look and watch yourself objectively get leaner and leaner, especially as you start to do the things that I'm going to show you how to do on this sheet. That's number one. Set goals. You are going to reduce body fat so that you're not as ugly and unhealthy. You're going to build muscle so that you increase your energy, you increase your engine that also burns your body fat for fuel, and you're going to also feel and look better in clothes and naked. More body fat obstructs your natural shape, and it prevents you from looking how you should and what you really feel like your body is. Your body is not a ton of fat. Your body is actually your lean muscle tissue. That's your lean mass. That's really you. That's live. That's literally live. The fat, we don't need it. We don't need to feed it, especially when we're overly fat. So that's step one. Set goals, track your progress. Step 2 and 3 I'm going to do really quickly, and then I'm going to show you exactly how to implement those steps in your daily routine and what the most important things are for you to implement these things in your routine consistently and to do them well. I'm not going to use any trainer jargon. I'm not going to overcomplicate anything. I'm not going to read this word for word. What I really care about is you taking away the most important things from this list of most important shit to get very fit. Okay. So, and in this also, you'll have a planner that you can take and download and use as a reference. Take it with you to the grocery store. You can take with you to the gym. A little of a training plan in here that I use. That's basically what I do. It's my training plan. I have that for men and I have that for women as well. Over 200 women have used it and seen incredible results on it. Same thing for the men. So, the second most important thing, the first thing was setting goals and tracking progress. The second most important thing that you need to do is you must have a very good eating routine. You need to have healthy eating habits. Most people do not. It is not entirely their fault that the general status quo is very poor eating habits. It just simply was a result of us doing the best that we could with what we had and what we knew. Objectively, it's not enough. It's simply not enough. We did not know enough, and we did not do enough. So this is the fast track, the whacks upside the head that get you to go, okay, this is the shit that I should be doing, and then this is all that matters. Anything else is junk and garbage. Having a really good eating routine means that you should have an eating schedule for the most part. You should have an eating routine, not an eating free-for-all. When there's no rules, anything goes. When anything goes, your day is discombobulated. You don't want to do that, much like you wouldn't want to go drive somewhere without a GPS if you don't know how to get there. So consider, to have a really good eating routine, ideally you should become very clear on what you're going to eat. Now, if you want the fast track to burn body fat and you want the fast track to build muscle, what you need to do is you simply must prioritize whole foods. Defining whole foods can simply mean it is naturally occurring foods that the planet made for us without us existing. Things like beans, things like rice, things like blueberries, things like cows, things like chickens. These are real foods. Plants and animals, plants and animals, plants and animals. And of course, animal products. So those are whole foods. Those are naturally occurring foods. The problem with most people, and what most people have, is they have no routine, and they actually eat, if anything, mostly over-processed foods and very little whole foods. That's a huge problem for many reasons. One is these people, when they first came to me, these lovely individuals, these incredible people who are now low body fat individuals, who were higher body fat individuals before, they were eating mostly processed foods. They're eating foods that they had no idea what was actually in it, and when that happens, you look terrible and you feel terrible because you don't know what you're eating. You are everything that you ate. So what you need to start doing, all whole food diet, meaning you know what you're eating. You know what you're eating, you know what you're eating, and you know what you're eating. It's not a one-time fix or a one-time learn. However, what I want you to consider is this is something that you get better at with time, and you begin to develop a higher level of understanding the longer you incorporate these whole foods and you work out. Because as soon as you start working out with whole foods, you're like, whoa, I feel like I have a limitless pill. And as soon as you start working out with bad food, you're like, whoa, I feel terrible. Like, I don't feel like I have the energy. Yes, you got the point now. So mostly whole food diet, okay? You need to know what to eat and you need to know what you're eating. I'll go over the meal planner in just a second. You need to have really clear goals, and these can come into 3 categories. This will solve most of your problems. All of my training, all of my teaching in nutrition, all of my learning and research in nutrition has come to these things. You need to have a protein goal, and that's at least your lean weight. I'm going to simplify that even more. You need to have a protein goal, and it should be at least 100 grams of protein a day. That's 3 servings, 3 normal servings. If you're a male, much more. You have more muscle mass usually. That's number 1 is protein. Number 2 is you need to have carbohydrates. Ideally, if you're going to be strength training and being moving. Yes, you can do all of this without it, but I don't want you to, because you should learn how to incorporate real carbohydrates into your diet. I am not ketogenic. I do not recommend it. I believe in situational carbohydrates and naturally occurring carbohydrates. I want you to eat carbohydrates provided they're naturally occurring, they're not highly processed. That means fruits, that means potatoes, that means rice, that means blackberries, that means blueberries, that means honey, that means milk. Those are real carbohydrates. Those are real foods that have carbohydrates in them, and they're meant to nourish us, they're meant to hydrate us, they're meant to fuel us as well, and they're meant to be a multivitamin too. So these are naturally occurring carbohydrates. On average, most people should be eating anywhere between 2 servings per day up to 6. The more active individuals who are more active literally throughout the day have on the higher end. If you're more sedentary, you're not going to need as much. You can have up to 2 servings of carbohydrates. Keep them naturally occurring. The third rule and final rule, I'm not going to talk about fats. I'm not going to talk about calories, because if you do your protein right and you have protein from mostly whole foods, you'll get fats in just fine. And if you cook with natural cooking fats, you'll get fats in just fine. You won't need to worry about it. You won't need to track calories. You're going to eat your protein goal, eat your carbohydrate range, and then you're going to have 2 fistfuls of vegetables every day with lunch and with dinner. Okay? Does that make sense? Protein, real carbohydrates, 2 fistfuls of vegetables every day. It's really simple. If you do that and you eat real food and you have meat, you have dairy, you have eggs, you have fruits, you have vegetables, and you look at what whole foods really are, and you make this your diet, you will lose so much body fat, people will think you got liposuction. Seriously. And your workouts will go off the charts. You'll have unlimited energy because your body isn't going to be processing a bunch of bullshit before it works out. Just consider that. You need a whole food diet, and you need to get rid of the processed foods. Processed foods slow you down. Not only that, but the simplest logic for this with processed foods is it's stuff that is foreign to your digestive system and your body. Sure, it was approved by the Food and Drug Administration, but was it approved by GOD? Was it made by GOD? Because if he proved it, it would have just been here. However, the people who have every literal incentive and responsibility to increase market share, they have a financial obligation to return more money to their shareholders, they'll make shit. And they don't give a fuck about you. They want money. That's not a crazy concept. And if you really want one pill that wakes you up on nutrition and food for forever, if it wasn't the whole food pill already, it's who made this and who put this in front of me? Who made this? Who put it in front of me? How did it get here? If you can consider where the ingredients of all your food came from, and you look at the ingredients list and you look at what the food's made out of and what you're eating, that curiosity and the interest that you have in that alone will get you to melt body fat, because you're going to stop putting foreign shit in your body. That's why you look foreign, because you put a bunch of bullshit in your body. You need a really good eating routine, cut out the junk food, eat high quality animal meat, eat fruits and vegetables, eat real food, okay? That's a really good eating routine. Protein goal, carb goal, vegetable goal. How these people got ripped? Protein goal, carb goal, vegetable goal. They ate real food. They got rid of bullshit, okay? Third and basically final thing, these last two will just be bonuses. Third and final thing is have a really good workout routine. If you aren't working out 4 days a week, in my opinion, you're incorrect and you're subhuman. You're subhuman. You're literally, human was meant to move. You by definition don't. You sit like a plant. That's stupid. Move. What weight training does is it breaks down your muscle tissues. You either weight train 4 days a week to build muscle and feel better and look better and literally have increased energy levels throughout the day, or you can be fat, stupid, and ugly. Anytime you have become fat, stupid, and ugly, you are not working out 4 days a week. There's no way around this. None. I have a training plan for you. Don't worry, you can take it. By the end of this, again, I want you to be able to be your own before and after photo. Send it to me. And if you have any complications adding this stuff into your routine, book a call with me. This is all I do. All I do is make people do these things and bake it into their routine. And I see what's in their way. And I'm like, okay, what's in your way is you don't know this. So you need to know this and then do this. That's all it is. It's literally all it is. So have a good workout routine. Work out 4 days a week at least. Focus on building muscle. Do your compound lifts. Those are the big lifts, and get strong. Get strong in the gym. And then work on your fine-tuning movements after your compound movements. Those are your accessory movements. Your accessory movements are shorter, smaller, a lot more intense as to where they're located, like lateral raises, okay? And it burns. Go for the burn. That's the burn. Burns on accessory movements. That should be done after you lift hard and heavy. Okay? And then just walk. Just walk. Walk 30 to 60 minutes a day. This is all it takes. Look, you can do this or be fat. I don't make the rules, the body does. I just report on what the body does, and you're like, oh, he's mean. I'm like, no, you're just stupid. You're just incorrect. You're just fat. You just didn't know better. And being convinced that this is mean or that this is ableist or this is whatever is simply also below human. It just is. But it's okay. We need people like that. We need people like that. But if you're watching this, I'd be willing to bet you want to improve these things. So walk 30 to 60 minutes a day. When? Morning, afternoon, evening. 10, 15 minutes each. If you want to be a star pupil, do 30 or 60 each. If you're a stay-at-home mom, of all people, take the stroller out, bring the little nuggets out, go walk and run. Make them. How do you think Kelly did that? She brought her whole family on walks. Husband and the boys. You have to set the tone. You got to be walking. Walk and lift or be wrong. Okay? Walk, lift, eat whole foods, set goals, or be wrong, or be fat, and be ugly, and be stupid, and be sad. Does that make sense? So my greatest contributions probably to fitness and nutrition will be this page. This is the eating routine, and there's a little bit of a structure behind it, okay? You wake up in the morning, right? Probably not feeling like P. Diddy. That didn't age well. You wake up in the morning. The first thing that you should be doing is hydrating yourself, okay? You need to fill up your water, go outside, get some sunlight. You know the deal. You know the drill. You've heard Huberman say it. You've heard me say it. You've heard Michael say it. You've heard everybody say this stuff. In the morning, you are eating exclusively whole foods especially. You are eating meat. You are eating eggs. My favorite breakfast is eggs plus any animal meat. And then if you want more food, if you're going to include more food, if you want more than just meat and eggs, then it's anything on this list, and it is optional. And do not exceed more than 35 grams of carbohydrates in the morning, or else you'll be hungrier later. You want to keep your hunger kind of like peaking right around like lunch. And then for lunch, what you're going to want to have is a more well-rounded meal after you've gotten your work done and your movement done. You don't want to move really heavy. You don't want to work really heavy. You want to work light. You want to be thinking light. So lunchtime, the way that you eat to still feel light, but to completely fill yourself and be happy and satisfied with your meal, any animal meat, 1 to 2 palm-sized servings. If you're a man, it's actually 2 to 4 palm-sized servings. For most women, 1 to 2 palm-sized servings. For most men, 2 to 4 palm-sized servings of meat for lunch. That's beef, chicken, steak, turkey, and any game meat. That's going to be the basis of your lunch, okay? Then you add any vegetable, lettuce, tomatoes, pickles, onions. I'm making a burger in my head. It's the best way to know vegetables, like lettuce, pickles, tomatoes, onions. Those are all vegetables. Do whatever you want. And I literally, you know what vegetables are, right? Should be fairly simple. All you need to do is you need to eat a meat, a vegetable, and then if you still want to have a carbohydrate or you're interested in having a carbohydrate for lunch, go for it. But if the reason why this says optional, which is optional carbs for breakfast, optional carbs for lunch, is if you get the chance, I would keep carbohydrates for lunch, or in my opinion, I would actually keep it for dinner and dessert. You want to go mostly carb-free earlier in the day because carbohydrates will rev up your appetite. Only when you get super fit, like super fit, and like really high muscle mass and lower fat mass, you can start going willy-nilly on carbs because your muscles really need it. And think of it kind of like this. You should be able to gradually tell more and more when you need more carbohydrates. And that should be when you're moving a lot more. Remember how I said the range is like 2 to 6 servings of carbs per day? The more movement you do, the more you do. The less movement you do, the less carbs you do. You usually aren't going to need it. You want your body burning body fat instead. Dinner, this is one of my favorite, and so this page is probably one of my favorite contributions nutrition-wise, and then so is the grocery list. For dinner, the way that I got really fit, of course, was eating meat and eggs for breakfast primarily. I had steak and eggs for breakfast every day. I got super fit, or I just skipped it and just did water and a big lunch. For dinner, this is all you need to know. Meat, vegetable, carb. What's my meat? What's my vegetable? What's my carb? Beef, lettuce, potato. Chicken, onion, mushroom, and rice. This is like really easy to make. And if you want to, what you can do, take this grocery list and you can literally add these together and make them a meal. Ta-da. Meat, vegetable, carb. Meat, vegetable, carb. Date night, meat, vegetable, carb. Night with dinner with your boys or girls, meat, vegetable, carb. Meat, vegetable, carb. Really simple. Think about all the times that we get fat. We're basically not eating a meat, a vegetable, and a carbohydrate. Meat, high protein. Vegetable, high satiety and nutrient. Dense, low calorie carbohydrate. Naturally occurring carbohydrate. Make it yourself. 1 ingredient, 2 ingredients. That's it. And you'll be fine. You'll wake up and you'll be fitter and fitter. But Yusuf, I have this crazy sweet tooth. Okay, maybe this actually is my greatest contribution in nutrition. It's not even really my contribution. It's just kind of like a hack everyone kind of knows. But the fucking Greek yogurt bowls, bro. So easy and they're so simple. Greek yogurt bowls are probably one of the fastest ways to mitigate a sweet tooth because it gets you back on real sugar. For those of you that know me from the crumble challenge, the crumble cookie challenge, is I would eat a crumble cookie every day, and that's basically like 60 grams of sugar at the end of the day, or 80. And I would just get like, I'd feel fine if I did one. If I did two, that's fine. I'd feel pretty bad. Most people, if they do one, they feel bad. But for me, I had a really hard time getting quote unquote off of sugar because I was used to having 60 to 120 grams of sugar every day at the end of the day for like half a year. I needed dessert every day after that, after doing that. And it was really hard to get off of it. You know what got me off of that? Real sugar, real carbohydrates. What you need is a Greek yogurt bowl plus fruit, plus some protein, and maybe some honey, and then go to bed. That's really what you probably need. Eating like this will get you to burn the body fat that you want off. Eating like this, and protein intake especially, will get you to build the muscle that you want to build so that you can look the way that you want to feel, so that you can also burn the body fat that you want to burn and have the energy that you want to have. Okay? This grocery list, really simple. This makes life really easy. Now when I go to the groceries, I know I need basically a few things. I need meat, I need eggs, I need milk, I need carbs, I need vegetables. That's it. Meat, eggs, carbs, vegetables, and that's it. Now, the natural cooking fats, you need to be cooking your food in either extra virgin olive oil, coconut oil, avocado oil, butter, or ghee. My essentials, my favorites are butter and olive oil. Those are my two favorites. And I use coconut oil on my body. I love that shit. So, I mean, this is real game here, you know. I mean, who else do you know doing it as hard as this? No one else is, because they don't give a fuck about you. I give a fuck about you. Nutrition Solutions has its own rightful plug here because I eat Nutrition Solutions. I've eaten Nutrition Solutions now for a little over a year. I think it's like 13, 14 months. This photo of me being super ripped and jacked is with Nutrition Solutions meals. I swear by Nutrition Solutions with my entire life. They taught me how to eat. In fact, a lot of this meat, vegetable, carbohydrate comes from the Nutrition Solutions meal plan. It comes from the way that they build meals. It is a meat, it is a vegetable, it is a carb. Follow my mouse. It is a meat, it is a vegetable, it is a carb. And you know what that is? That is real filling food, and it is the highest quality protein. All of it is organic protein. The beef is grass-fed. The chicken is organic and antibiotic-free, hormone-free. It's real good protein. It's organic produce. And don't even get me started on the protein donuts. That was also how I got off of the crumble cookies. With Nutrition Solutions meals, they have two options. You can either do a smaller portion or you can do a bigger portion. I started on the smaller portion when I was getting leaner and I wanted to learn how to eat real food. The smaller portions are fine. Those are 400 calories. That's not a lot of food by most people's measure, at all. Some people even thinking that now, 400 calories, that's not a lot. My meals are 500, 600, 800. Yeah, but you also kind of look silly. Meat, vegetable, carb, and then maybe a fruit after the meal. I personally do the bigger portion, the beast. It's about double the protein, a little bit more carbs, not much at all, and then a little bit more vegetables, a little bit more fat that comes from the meat too as well. So those meals are 200 calories more on average, and that is just enough for me. I eat that, I put it away. I'm not overly full. I'm satisfied. I'm fine. I personally do the 15 entrees, 5 breakfasts. I do the Spartan meal plan. That's a better value. The more you get, the better the value is. But pick between whether you want smaller portions or bigger portions in general, and then just stick to that. Just stick to it. Eat your real foods, and now going to the gym. Going to the gym is actually one of the simplest and funnest things to do, because if I could sell going to the gym to you in one breath, it is that it increases your awareness by so fucking much. How much you feel, how you feel after eating certain foods, how you feel working out at certain times of the day, when you feel best in your body, when you're able to perform the best. And I find I like to work out best at all hours of the day. I can work out. Anyone should be able to work out at all hours of the day. But there's obviously scheduling, and you have to go for yourself. If you can get in 4 days a week and strength train really, really well, you can go more. I like personally going more. But life changes, you know. Me, I go every day. I lift literally every day. I've done that for like a year, and I've had only better results in my entire life from that. Some people do less. Oh, I'm a parent. I'm a this and that, and I'm like, okay, whatever you want. Just go as often as you can. You like, don't try and tell it to me. Just go as often as you can. You need to be hitting compounds. Okay, that's to start your workout, and you need to be finishing with accessories. In the bold are the compounds. The not bold are the accessories, and you want to finish each workout with abs or calves. This is really simple. Now, here's what you can do to keep in touch with me as you implement this. This should be really fun and really simple. You can print this out. I have a copyable download, PDF download in the description for you to fill this out on your own. And here's what you do. You eat really good, right? You train really good. You move your body. You eat and you train. The two best things next that you need to be doing are starting your day right and reflecting on what you're going to do. And then you need to end your day right and look at, okay, what do I need to do tomorrow? What did I not do today that I need to do? Be real with yourself. If you eat well and you move and you work out and you are rooted in objective honesty, you will be like this. This is when you start. This is when you finish. This is when you start. This is when you finish. This is when you start. This is when you finish. And guess what? It gets better. It gets better with time. If you want to look like you just got liposuction and you want people to go, what the fuck did you do? Because you just have fat off of your body and you've built muscle, eat high protein, eat real foods, eat the proper portions, and then never stop. If you do that, you'll be fit. And you know what I would encourage you and invite you to do? Take your before photo, front facing. Take your side photo, and then take your back photo. And then take it every week. Get your body fat tested. Get your grocery haul, and your first grocery haul should be from these foods. Okay? Use the planner, plan out what you're going to eat. You do this, you'll be a before and after photo in no time. Now, what's typical is each of these individuals was 6 months. You can so 3 months and 6 months, most people are really about 10, 12 pounds away from their goal. If you're, or let's just say if you're 10 to 15 pounds away from your goal, 3-4 months is usually pretty typical that you can get down in body fat permanently, and you can like have known how you did it. That's if you do it with me at least, which, you know, obviously book a call for that. For 6 months, usually if you have more than 25 pounds of body fat to lose, 6 months is a more realistic time frame. Just take your photos and track your body fat, okay? 6 months, 25 pounds is typical. Kelly lost 45 in 6 months, which is pretty baller. But there's nothing to it but to do it. A lot of this for a lot of you people is just to know that this stuff is out there and you need to be aware of it. Download it. I hope this helps. And most importantly, I love doing this. I just want you to be able to do it too. Okay? We'll talk soon. Bye.